Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is A Train 9 version 4. In the last episode I spent quite a lot of time fruitlessly trying to get a set of trains working across a fairly lengthy but by no means extensive route. By which I mean that it's a good length route, but it doesn't go anywhere near covering the whole of the map just yet. So there we go. We're looking at this route now. I didn't manage to get it working in the length of the episode, and the solution I eventually came to. Let's slow it down. We'll ride on board, and I'll show you how we figured that out. Train window, if you would be so kind. Oh, yes, that's it. Oh, look at this. This is a good view. Yes, the solution was not one that I thought of until later. Now, much of this is going to be, in fact, this entire route is incredibly temporary in nature, because the whole point of this is it runs from one end of my map, I guess, my city, to the other end. At which point. It will go all the way from point A to the other end of the map, point B, on one day, and then the next day it will come all the way back again. I'm not sure if the timetable will let me do that or not, but that's the goal anyway. So the solution to getting 5 trains, as it turns out, to run this route was to stick this dizzying circle at the far end. Which meant that we no longer had services backing onto one line or the other. A relatively rudimentary solution to the problem, but one that was, nonetheless effective. It's got the job done, and these guys now run all day long. There we go. Whee! And they all generate a profit, which is even better. So that's now running, and overall the entire city is making a bit of a profit. Let's get out of quit the train window here and just zoom it out a little. The city overall is making plenty of cash now. Not enough to keep me afloat without abusing the stock market on a regular basis, but we're getting closer. And the goal has to be to get to the point where I don't need to tinker with the stock market every so often to keep myself in goodies. Anyway, let's get on to today's project, shall we? Now, I've touched on this before. Is running next to this station we just pulled into in the industrial area. We've got our commercial district, which is growing nicely. I've moved depots around in order to get further growth on the go. And to be fair, I do own most of the buildings on this island, so it's kind of in my interest to get this earning as quickly as possible. So the local station is right out here, and it's going to run, and am I going to zoom out enough while you can still see what's going on? I guess so. It's going to run a circuit that goes around here, as you can see, into this one here, and I've already built some of the stations up, ready to get started. I haven't done all the work. I figured I'd leave you with something to watch. And as you can see, I've done the kind of the human-shaped kind of coastline approach once again. Out through this second station, and then back through here, and then we're going to have one more, do we think? One more, maybe 2 more. Actually, we're right up against the edge of the map here, so I think 1 is probably going to suffice. So I'm going to swing this bridge round here today, and we'll park up here somewhere and get a nice little enclave going. And the hope is the hope has got nothing to do with it. It's going to have 4 stations in total. 1 here, there you go, 2 and 3. No, it's going for 5 stations in total. Do learn to count, man. With 2 or 3 trains running in each direction, and we'll use a different type of train for this one as well. I'm not going to stick with just the singular one that we have so far. No, we'll get some variety on the go. Anyway, let's get this next station built. And as I have been doing, most of the time for the last few episodes, we're going to square off the coastline first. So I've got $1.5 billion in the bank, and you know, I am fearing the arrival of the taxman to a certain degree. But we've got, where are we? September. We've got a few months yet before he comes and appraises us. So if I manage to empty my bank account to a certain amount, then he will have far less to say with regards to the taking ownership of my wealth. Right, yeah, as you can see, right up against the edge of the map. Now, do I smooth the top of this mountain? I think I'm going to have to a little in order to get this track round. Let's bump it up here. And maybe yes, turn it into a mesa of some description rather than anything else. So let's try that on for size. There you go. Let's get gently. Not too much. Okay, right. Well, that might be. No, I'm not a fan. No, don't like that. Let's take it all down to that sort of level. There we go. Okay, smashing. And I want a small townette around here somewhere. Now, before I do that, that's 230 million's worth of smoothage. Yikes. Okay, well, these things they happen clearly. Right. So the first thing I need to do is get this bridge back down to ground level. And I'm clearly not done with me geoscaping just yet because I need to get a corner in there. And the difficulty is that you can only change your height if you. That's pretty ugly. If you run in a straight line, so it has to go there. So maybe, maybe there's something interesting I can do here. Right, let's. Again, this is going to be expensive. Let's smooth out a path for this chap to follow around here, and then. What I'm thinking is, if I stick a station in here somewhere, and then get some tunnelled road going around there. Yeah, we won't man-make the coastline here. We'll carve out a couple of gullies for the track to run through. And actually, I've done that already somewhere else, and it does look quite effective, especially if you then later revisit the terraform to. Yeah, we'll take that. Thank you. Not cheap, but then, you know, all I need to make a bit of cash is the patience enough to manipulate the stock market. In fact, let's put this in first. Yeah, see, that's the smart approach there. No, just like that. There we go. And then if you're compliant, there we go. Everything's happy. Good. So I'll figure out exactly where to stick the station in here, and then actually no. Before we hold on. Where are we going here? Where's my track? Let's take this side. No, stay up high for the moment. Let's keep you vertical while we cross this not insignificant estuary. And I need to double check, but if this meets if this bit of water meets the map edge, that could work. There we go. Then I might set up a container port here. Now, container ports are notorious. I've done a little reading up, as much as you can. There's not a hell of a lot of information to read on the game, unless you're, relatively fluent in Japanese, which sadly I'm not. And I always meant to learn as many languages as possible. I ended up not really learning that many at all. Right, here we go. Yes, what was I talking about? Container ports. So there is a knack to getting them to actually pay off. Down you go. That involves making sure that there are 16 It's within it's either 32 or 16 tiles of the edge of the map, and that your draft is deep enough. Yeah, this is a cracking place for a harbour. Look at that for a skyline. Yeah, you might not approve, but I think that's the business. I don't know about approve. You might not be that bothered. Let's put it that way. Right, let's get that in place, and another one next to it. Interesting. There's a lot of land here. I could town up, isn't there? I could almost put 2 stations in here. I think that will be excessive. Let's stick with what with Plan A. And around there. Okay, right, good. So yeah, I'm going to stick a station in here, just to make a little edge of the world style town out of it. At some point I am going to need to think a little larger. I mean, if we head back to my original area, which I'm not going to do now, there are, there's merit in building stations relatively close together, because you end up with joined up districts, effectively. What's a multi-level crossing? That's not what we need. Let's do an overtrack here. Steady. No. Although, look at that. That's monstrous. I'll have to build one of those at some point. Right, anyway, let's just go with that, shall we? Now, the length of the platforms is only a 6. It's a nice dinky little kind of provincial station. Something like that would probably do the trick. Yeah, the angle's not what one might hope for. More geoscaping is going to be required, or maybe just a little bit of an adjustment of the curve. Let's do that, and then let's... I need this land, sorry. Yeah, I know it's a really nice, hewn by nature kind of a section of the land, but I need the space. There we go. I'll rip it through in a moment so that we get some daylight so we can see what's going on. But I want to get this set up now, because I want to set the trains in motion as soon as possible. And then, rather than what I've done previously, which is, build the thing up and then set trains in motion, I'm going to do it the other way around this time. No, let's actually grab the end here. There we go. Excellent. And something like that. Now, I'm going to have to do something clever with roads here, especially if I want it to grow at all. And I need to get some goods out here as well. And Lord knows where I'm going to get them from. Hold on. No, I changed my plea. I know exactly where I'm going to get them from. Okay, this works for me. Yeah, that's grand. In fact, I'm going to bring that out now. Now, that factory is possibly not producing as much as I need in order for this to work, but we'll see how we get on. In fact, I don't know why that factory is out of stock at the moment. I've only just recently started making adequate cash from a lot of my factories. No, let's go as far as here and then fix it, and then geo the thing again. Look, just smooth it out, will you? Now, if an awful lot of games when you play like this, the game itself, when you lay track or road or whatever, it will do some auto smoothing for you. But no, A-Train is persistent in that you do all the hard work yourself. I guess I can't complain too much, but there are easier ways to do this. Where should we go? Let's just go as far as there for the moment. We don't need to get too carried away, but what we will do is, if I can get a... Hey, look, there you go, that's nice. Right, do something along these lines. Nothing too complex required. I just need it to kind of double back on itself here. In not too unattractive a fashion, ideally. Something like that. Go on, there you are. All right, terrific. And then we will stick a quick loading bay here. I'm not even going to bother with it having a pull in. It can just it can drop there, and then we'll stick a, what do you think, medium? I think a medium ought to do the job. You could possibly go a little larger than a medium. Right, let's plonk this in here, and then we'll see what the AI makes of it once I start making deliveries. Okay, well we've got stuff in stock. Right, wherever you're currently going, Sunshine, I've got a new plan for you. Right, timetable assistant. I'm going to start this moving now. As much as, you know, I do spend quite a lot of time in these episodes manipulating these trucks with the timetable assistant. There we go. Let's go. I see. It's a nice straight route with no junctions involved. We'll go straight, and then we'll take the next right. There we go. Stop. Unload, please. And then onwards. Good. This one's nice and easy. Yeah, and then left. All the way back again. And I mean, actually, one of the tricks, one of the tricky aspects of the timetable assistant is actually, do I want to go right? I don't know. There's fewer turns if I go straight here. Yeah, one of the tricky things with the timetable assistant is that you don't. No, I've completely lost my train of thought there. No, it's about camera angles, right? You can't move the camera while it's assisting you, so you've only really got as much line of sight as you can actually get your eyes on. Actually, kind of a nebulous point there, but I did tell that to reverse, didn't I? Let's close that. Let's open it again. Right, there we go. Reverse, please. And then last departure of the day we'll stick at 8-ish. Right, let's just make sure that you're happy. Everybody else is just going 24 hours a day, but no, not you. No, you go as you go. Straight and... No. Oh, nuts. Left. I don't really want you to go around the block. Okay, stop. Unload. No. Load. Oh, heck. I don't want to have to do the full loop again. Oh, you mug. Press the button when you should have just let it happen. Yeah, look, all this is fine. All this is fine. This is all fine. Look, come on. Just do it right this time. Straight. Yeah, pick some stuff up. Reverse. Yes. All of this. That's it. Now leave. Now go straight. Right, and then I can leave you to it. Okay, cool. So that will gradually build up some resources here, and when the AI feels inclined, it will put those to good use. But I believe that's my circuit complete, and we've got ridiculously horrible weather. Right, here we go. So from here out, round, and again, and again, and again. And we're done. Okay, cool. Right, train time. Now, these trains are not going to make me any money at all for quite some time, but I want some variety up in here. Now, I have limited to 6 car lengths. Now, the reason I might as well show you. The reason I use these AR4s is they don't pack a lot of passengers in, given their length. Although that said. Oh, that's hideous. I love it. 115 kilometers an hour versus 110. It's even faster than the one I'm actually using. 9 million versus 20 million. Interesting. Oh, I see. No. This is a better train. Arguably a better train. Right, okay, let's see what else we've got here. I don't need it to go especially quick, but I do want to be able to pack in as many passengers as possible because, you know, I want to make a bit of cash out of it. What are you? You're effectively just a bus, aren't you? Bus on wheels. Can we? We could make that a 4. What's that? 500 passengers. I quite like the looks of that. That's nice. That's quite dinky. What else have we got going on here? That's the 1500 series. For those of you who are Puritan enough to know the in and outs of the Japanese railway system. That's a beast of a thing. What do you get off 6? 636 on a 6, and it changes the shape of it. No, I'm not interested in changing the shape of it. I'll make a decision in a moment. Bear with me. We might as well look through all of these passenger trains we've got. In fact, we got a wealth of variously square and rectangular shaped passenger service. Yeah, that's the fella. That's the one. That's that. I'm not going any further. The 813 series is what we're having. Right. Okay, so let's put you on. Now, what's your tendency here? I think in order to avoid confusing myself, we're going to indicate that things prefer travelling on the right. Right, and then let's timetable assistant this up. Okie dokie. Now, do we want to run these 24 hours a day? Now, if we do, no, it's going to be more complicated if I try and set them up to run that with a set timetable. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I am going to run them 24 hours a day, but we'll stick a 45-minute wait in at each station. Right, stop. Load and unload. Yep, getting on and off. Off we go. Have at it, man. Off you go. Make the action. There you go. Up and around and over. And a stop and a 45-minute wait. Go. So I don't expect to get many passengers. Certainly not from the stops that don't have any passengers. So nobody lives there at the moment. But I do want to get these. I want to get it running, and I want to get the reverse version running as well. So we'll. I think basically with each new line I run, I'll use a different train, just to get some variety of engine happening here. You didn't tell it to stop for 45 minutes at the last one, or did you? I suspect quite strongly you didn't. There you go. See, look, multiple different locomotive types kicking around the station. Beautiful. Yep, carry on. Let's up the tempo and make sure I got that last one right. 45 minutes. Oh, I guess I did do it. Okay. Well, I'm far more efficient than I gave myself credit. No, we did miss one. There we are. Right. All done. Yes? Yes. Okay, right. Now, here comes the tricky bit. Let's, right, I want to copy the timetable. In fact, I need to buy some more train. Let's buy another 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know, it feels excessive. Anyway, right, let's copy you, copy, and then we'll paste onto here, and onto here. Okay, now, what I want here is I want to be able to get both, I want to get like 3 stations in one camera shot. Where's he gone? Where's it got to? There we go. Right, so it came from there. Maybe I'll do it by time. Maybe I give it like 2 hours after leaving a station and then stick the next one down. I must have clicked some kind of camera mode there. Apologies for that. I must find that again at some point, though. I'm in favour of camera modes. Right, where are you? Now, am I moving this to... where's it got to? That was it. There it is. Right. Are we going to do this properly, or are you just going to guesstimate? Equally, do you want to put it on the right side of the track? Okay, okay, right. What I should be doing here is timing how long it takes to complete a circuit. So it's now 10 to 1, that left. Okay, so now we need to just wait until it gets back to this station, which should be soonish. Okay, 6:20, 6:15, let's call it. So what's that? 10 to 1. Let's call it 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I know, very lazy. So that's a 5-hour round trip that one makes. So, well, we could do it just by track distance, couldn't we? Really? 5 hours? That feels like a very long time. It's not going that far. Well, actually, given that I'm just copy-pasting here, we'll leave that one in this station, and then we'll head up here, and we'll stick the next one just coming in there. Let's slow the game back down. There we are. Oh, obviously, I haven't picked them up in the wrong order. And we'll place this last one. What are we looking at? Yeah, right about here. What to do the trick? Travelling on the right. So just coming in now, and then let's turn that one around. Alright, let's unpause and see if I've created a disaster. Now, it's never going to be that disastrous. Let's be realistic here, because they're all, in theory, travelling in the same direction. Although I don't know what happened there. You'll be this one, presumably. Let's turn you around. Wait for the other one to go. Right, there we are. Now, I apologise for not using anything more robust, more clever to get these spaced out, but needs must. This is this is just getting it working. Right, now the other one. Let's get the other side going here. Place you on there. Why have you caught up again? Have I? I know what I haven't done. I cancel that for a moment. Right, which one are we looking at? This one. Right, we're going to copy clear, copy that, paste it onto that, paste it onto this. What I didn't do is I didn't paste the timetable, so the others are just waiting for 10 minutes. So 7, turn you around. And then turn it around again. And with a bit of luck, the next one isn't on its way yet. Does that look like it worked? That looks like it worked. Okay, good. And then the gap between the next two isn't too close either. Right, good. Right, now let's do the other side of the track. Whew, yeah. Right, you give me timetable, assistant. Right, 45 minutes. You know the drill here. So, in order to make these pay off properly, what I'm going to need to do is make this whole area of the city into something that actually supports 24-hour-a-day activity. So I think I need a nightlife section at one of these stations. And then, I mean, my original plan was plenty of residential in there, so that and this is basically just feeding onto my main route and the manufacturing area where hopefully lots and lots of people will work. as much as I do not fully understand the how the economy of the game works, it's not made completely clear. But that said, I haven't exactly read the manual cover to cover, or in fact at all. 45 minutes, if you did be so kind. There we go. Shot on. Good. Right, that's that done. Good. Now, so let's copy this one. Let's hurry up. You place onto there, turn round, paste the timetable. And then we'll do the same with this one. Paste the timetable, place the train. Turn it around. Ah, didn't get it right. Nuts. Okay, turn you around. And again, there we go. Hopefully that's made enough of a gap. We'll know soon enough. What we shouldn't see is any train waiting immediately behind another one. This is looking pretty promising. Now, eventually, I will run these to some kind of timetable that actually makes sense. But if we look at, where are we? 11 a.m. So if we look at these three here, we'll see the kind of the profit loss that they're running over the course of the day, and it's not horrendous. It's not good. I think it's costing me roughly double to run the thing than they're actually bringing in, but that's okay. That's just fine for now. My other train services are offsetting that nicely, and these stations are only going to become more profitable as I build them up. So that's going to be my next goal. But this chap just paid off quite nicely. Where are we? 5,500 out of 6,500. Yeah, that's pretty respectable. So there we go. That'll take us to the. Shall we? Well, let's finish off on board, shall we? Let's pick one at random. Train window. Slow her down. There we go. There we go. So that's going to take us to the end of the show. For this time. Now, what I won't do this time is I won't advance quite so far before you join me again. Instead, what I shall do is the money's okay. The money's pretty good. Is I'll set up truck and goods services to make sure that these new stations are starting to grow. And then next time around, we'll develop one of them into some kind of wacky nightlife area. And maybe, if that's the way I am so inclined, we'll investigate setting up a container port of some description, which is ludicrously expensive to run. So we've got that to look forward to together, haven't we? Anyway, thanks very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Yeah, it's I love the appearance that the city's starting to take on. It's almost more than any other game. It really is developing a character of its own as we press on. I mean, some of my areas are better thought out than others. I'm still pleased with this industrial district and the train services running through them. I mean, look at this stuff. This is what we want to see. But I've got much more that I want to accomplish yet, so we've got plenty more to go. Anyway, chuck us a like if you enjoyed this one. That would be most appreciated, and I'm sure you know by now that if you want to keep up, the best thing to do is subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio!